shots, a lot of opportunities very early, and I don't think they'll stop.
And Felicia Knox scored that first goal in the Thursday contest against the Gamecocks. Is it possible we see her score the first goal here tonight?
I think anything is possible tonight, Spencer. I mean, and if you look at Alabama's depth, it could be any one of those players on the field that's going to get on the board first. But, you know, in talking with Coach Hart, it's really about respecting the team, respecting the opponent, and just getting it done.
They said they were number 11, and we asked him in the production meetings, Coach Hart, about being number 11, and he mentioned it's a great honor, but that's not what we're worried about. We're worried about winning games as we are underway in Tuscaloosa, 84 degrees and dropping as we get into this interconference action between the SEC and SoCon. Goes right to the keeper there, Eckern. Knox come into today with a one-game winning streak. Last victory, mutual victory with their opponent on the pitch today against North Alabama. Originally had a match against Belmont that was canceled last Sunday due to inclement weather. We talked to Coach McKinney as well about that and the cancellation. They mentioned they had a good practice that was very assertive and aggressive, so didn't seem like there was any issues on their end with having that game canceled.
Yeah, you know, it's an unexpected but welcomed opportunity to get a really hard training session. And usually once, you know, conference or out of conference play starts, you're on a 2-match a week, and it's really about resting and recovering. But they were able to take advantage. Alabama on the other side, you know, they just played a heck of a game on Thursday. So it'll be interesting to see if some of those fresh legs versus some of those tired legs come into play here tonight.
Mocs were victorious over North Alabama 2-1. And last Sunday, Crimson Tide 3-0 clean sheet against same opponent. And of course, we talked about in the open, 2-0 victory against the Gamecocks. As the Mocs try to get a play set up there.
So what we're seeing in the first couple of minutes, pretty physical, fast-moving game. I think if you looked at the statistics between the two squads, they would look sort of similar. Want to generate a lot of offense, want to press high, want to be aggressive and win the ball in the middle of the pitch.
Good clean slide tackle there. There's Coach Gavin McKinney, the SoCon Coach of the Year during the adjusted COVID season. And, you know, he's also, I talked with him in the production meetings. He was also part of the Tennessee Olympic Development Program, and he really enjoyed being part of that experience, seeing some of the incredible talent. And, you know, he loved it so much, but he's so pulled with his current responsibilities at UTC that he can't really commit to it at this point, but if he had the chance, he'd go back and do it all over again. See a good fight there, won by the Crimson Tide. That one goes out of play.
Alabama doing a nice job there, playing in those tight spaces. The Mocs really trying to sit in. Something that Coach McKinney talked with us about was being really smart in their defensive shape, not trying to bite, letting Alabama maybe play the ball a little bit, but really trying to focus on keeping their shape in the transition of play. You can see there, a nice tackle by number 3, one of the captains, Shaw.
As Paul fights for it, we'll have a switch over there. swallowed up by the Mocs defense.
Yeah, and again, good zonal defense there. That was unforced error by Alabama. You know, sloppy pass in that attacking third.
Smith trying to keep it in possession. Hash has to assist. Pretty dangerous to the keeper on that last possession. Finally booted away.
Yeah, there was a bit of a rush ball back to the goalkeeper. She did well to sort of adjust and get it out, but you know, Alabama pressing really high, trying to turn that ball over as soon as they lose it.
Speaking of pressing high, tried to cross it over there was Tanner. And Wes Hart, you know, talked with him in our production meetings about some stuff out of his role at Alabama. He actually played in Major League Soccer and talked about in that era, you know, it's so much about MLS has changed. You know, the World Cup is in a few months. It's coming in 4 years, the United States. He talked about how they played in football stadiums and it wasn't as intimate of an environment, but he's certainly getting an intimate environment with the Crimson Tide crowd. As this crossed in and cleared out. They're trying to get the aggression early again.
The Alabama throw deep in the corner. Reina Reyes playing up there on the right outback side. Usually she's been playing a more defensive role, but now she's joined up in the midfield.
It's the senior from Garland, Texas, who threw it in. UTC is doing a good job of disrupting things, but Bama not allowing much action here. Finally booted away by Shaw.
Yeah, you're right, Spencer. You know, the Mocs are doing a nice job of holding their defensive shape, breaking things up, but very quick to turn that ball over and allow Alabama to come back with another wave. And, you know, if Thursday night's performance is any indication of what's to come, it's going to come wave after wave after wave.
Advantage given. We talked with Coach Hart on Friday about how kind of chippy Thursday night's matchup got. You could see the aggression such. He mentioned there were no injuries that really came for Thursday night. And when you play a tough matchup like that, it's a miracle that nobody comes out with any injuries or bumps or bruises. As this played in.
And there's the freshman, Ravolsky, number 15. She will be giving Alabama's back line some trouble. She has been so productive in terms of assists, shots on goal. She's definitely one of their freshmen to watch.
Skorka just keeps it away.
Yeah, she will have to work very hard to beat Alabama's back line. That is true.
Talked about how successful they've been all year. This is dumped in. Dangerous is Gianna Paul. Great defensive slide to keep it from going on net. But you talked about it last week when you were in the booth for the North Alabama contest. Gianna Paul is dangerous when she gets in the front.
Absolutely, another fabulous freshman. She is going to be another player to watch tonight.
Especially with how quick she can be when she gets the ball. There's a reason why she was in her high school the athlete of the year. She was a two-time champion in track and field. Very speedy whenever she gets the ball.
I would not want to go toe-to-toe with her. Again, another unforced error by Alabama. You can hear Coach Hart yelling at his team to keep moving, swing that ball. I think it's going to be very important for them to keep that movement off the ball, move that ball more quickly, not standing flat-footed, create some spaces. Because otherwise, the Mocs are going to be able to defend them pretty easily with that zonal defense.
Skorka. Wing side. Trying to find the outlet, just has to play it back. Try to get it inside the box. Possession good. Challenge there by the graduate Kat Rogers. There's a dump in by Reyes over the net.
Yeah, and that was kept alive by Kat Rogers. You know, given that sliding tackle there, she was able to find Skorka on the run and get it to Reyes on the right. But Skorka has done a really nice job of coming up and joining the attack. I think she had a goal against North Alabama, just really trying to connect that back to front.
Another defensive stop by Sylvie Keck, sophomore from Nashville, CPA, Christ Presbyterian Academy, known as CPA to those around the Middle Tennessee area. Defensive stand there. And across it over. Here's Reyes. Paul.
And you can see here with Chattanooga, they've started in a 3-5-2, but they've sort of fallen back into defensive shape at almost a 5-3-2, really just trying to pack that box and not give Alabama that space in and around the 18. Alabama's doing a good job of moving it, but they've got to be able to pick apart and find those seams if they want to get in and get dangerous.
And to dump it in, potential opportunity here. Just a wall essentially formed for Srepka. Couldn't get the shot off. And then Skorka just switches it over. Ennis trying to get it in. Possession there. Reyes tried to get it towards the net. And good awareness there by Maggie Shaw.
Yeah, and Ennis, number 13 for Alabama, she's got a great left foot. Instead of working it back around towards the middle of the pitch for a switch on, she just put that left foot and put it up on frame, almost a goal-scoring opportunity. Reina Reyes just couldn't really get a good, clean shot off in the box.
Dumped in. Booted back out. Paul was in the area.
Yes, she's always in the area, just lurking in front of the net.
Good challenge and a good weave through.
Yeah, again, that was the freshman, number 15, Revolsky.
Here's Reyes again. And deep forward, got the better chance to get it, topped up, outside. What an opportunity and chance for Riley Tanner.
Yeah, and that was a great ball again, coming from Jessica Skorka. She was able to get up, join the attack, take one look and pop it over the top. Great ball, just over the leg of number 4, Sylvia Keck, and Riley Tanner unable to finish it, partly because freshman goalkeeper Carolyn Eckern came out and really challenged that ball, made it difficult for her.
That's what they teach you as a goalkeeper, to pressure, cut off the angle of your striker. That's exactly what Eckern did. Might have to cut off the angle of Paul here. Paul's looking for the chance, high and wide. Great opportunity by Paul, and you look at the dynamic of, especially at the collegiate level, you look at the classes of freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and how much they have. And for UTC, they're very freshman heavy. They've given the start to Eckern, who has the most minutes of anybody on the team, an average of 85. And the rest of those freshmen are getting those minutes because of how well they're doing on the pitch.
Absolutely, and they've been, some of them, immediate difference makers. You know, Mai's playing out on that left that left back position, just running up and down, giving minutes all game long. Salinas, Revolsky, really dangerous in that attacking third. And so, yeah, they've got some returning seniors, but they are really heavy on their freshmen, and their freshmen are performing. You see number 7 there, Salinas, pressing up top, trying to give some pressure to Alabama's defense. Ravolsky, number 15, doing the same thing.
Trying to cross it over, and Eckern is there to swallow it up. Caroline Eckern, to this point, she has not recorded a single loss with her 4 starts in 5 games. Trying to keep that record, trying to keep that record through the rest of the season. Tough challenge against this Alabama front line.
Absolutely. Based on the stats, you would say it's not possible, but anything is possible in the game of soccer.
Dump forward, and good clear out there by Keck.
Eckern is also accompanied by a pretty solid back line led by number 23. We've got Avery Catlett, number 3, one of the captains, Maggie Shaw.
Dumped forward, and the Mocs are just anticipating any of these aggressive moves that the Crimson Tide are trying, and we've seen it in the last several games that Alabama likes to just go aggressive, get the goals first, and go up early. UTC through the first about 15-20 minutes has not allowed that.
Yeah, they've done a good job. They're trying to make Alabama's play pretty predictable. They're trying to keep them to the outside, and so far they're doing a pretty good job. They have had some dangerous chances, and there might be another one coming here, but so far, I would say the Mocs have executed their game plan.
Almost looked like Reyes was going to cut it back towards the goal. So this is chipped in. Paul, not a chance for it. Alabama just setting up the play again.
You can hear Coach Hart, though, begging his team to play it faster and skip that middle person and send it right over. And I think that's something that they've been trying to work on game in and game out, just really upping how quickly they're able to move and release the ball.
You also heard Coach McKinney say Avery stays central, trying to keep the defensive line where exactly those chips are going. And a header and a score!
And that was Sarepka sneaking in the back there, just as we were trying to talk about the zonal defense, trying to get the Mocs to stay at home and stay in that position. Then you got Ashlyn Sarepka just sneaking in the back, and it looks like that ball barely touched her head, but it was an excellent ball in. She somehow got behind the defenders that was coming from number 13, Ines, with that great left foot, and Sarepka is able to put an exclamation point on that one and just finish in the back of the net. Eckern had no chance, and it looked like Sarepka was all alone.
The graduate from Cornelius, North Carolina, gets the first header and strikes first against the Mocs. Couldn't even get a chance to finish our points there.
We couldn't, and it looks like she might have taken a pointer from Parker there, finishing with her head.
And a 1-0 start for the Crimson Tide here in the first half. A lot faster score than what they were accustomed to on Thursday night. Another opportunity just on the inside from Paul, and Catlett staying central as her coach instructed. Paul again, up to the outside, foot race. Skorka looking for the chance in the middle. Paul looking, cleared out there by Smith.
That was number 17, Shelby Hash, taking that hard ball off of, it looked like maybe the chest or the face. Ines has, like I've said before, a really strong left foot. We've seen her put that ball in across the box, and hate to be on the end of that.
Another chance cleared out yet again by Keck. So far, it seems like the name we most have been calling so far is Keck and Catlett, because they've just been so strong in the back line for the Mocs.
Yeah, they've been strong and they've been busy. So, you know, on that left side, you've got Riley Tanner, who wants to go 1v1 all day long, and she will try to do it every chance she gets. You know, Coach Hart tries to isolate her there, play to her strengths. Now we've got one of the goal scorers from Thursday night's game, Felicia Knox. Typically excellent service into the box.
Corner opportunity again, as this is still in play. Great sliding save by Eckern.
Yeah, it looked like there was a near post redirect, but Eckern was all over that, not giving Alabama an opportunity to put that back in front of the face of goal.
You're right about the back line for the Mocs being busy. 7 shots for Bama, not a single shot for the Mocs so far. It's just been all essentially Bama's possession so far.
Yeah, and this is something that we talked with Coach McKinney about. You know, you certainly don't want to have to chase for 90 minutes. So when they do get the ball, when they do have an opportunity to overtake it, they want to be able to try to keep it, make good decisions. But so far, it's been difficult.
Ray is setting it up. Good challenge. A challenge by Klippenstein.
I would say this is one of Alabama's sort of hallmark plays is getting it to that touch line, trying to cut it back against the face of goal. And they've been fruitful in all the corner kicks they've been able to get.
I think this is Bama's 2nd or 3rd corner so far. An opportunity. Eckern, that was dangerous. Great awareness.
And I mean, you can comment to this. How hard is that for a goalkeeper to do? In traffic, bodies around you, getting that ball and hugging it to your chest.
Had way too many of those for comfort in my high school days.
McKinney said that Eckern, you know, earned the start, and then she just brings a lot of calm, stability, consistency, and you can see exactly why she's been able to keep that start.
As this goes all the way back to Crone.
Start coming. Good, good, good. Release.
Skorka, a little bit too powerful of a pass intended there for Srepka.
Yeah, you know, Eckert is doing a great job of trying to anticipate those balls. Her defensive line is trying to make it predictable, and Skorka, you know, trying to find that seam, trying to find that pass, but not able to link up, and Eckert able to come out and really break that up early.
There's Paul. You could see she was about to have a foot race. She was ready to go for it. Saw Eckern and said, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, if it was maybe a couple of yards back, we might have seen a real race on our hands. She's just so fast, and when she takes that touch, she's just able to cover so much space and keep the ball, you know, so close. It's really a treat to watch.
Pressure there as they get it out to Mise.
Yeah, one of the freshmen that's made an immediate impact. I think she started every game since joining the Mocs. Covers a ton of ground, super speedy player.
As we take a look again at Srepka and the first goal of tonight's contest.
Yeah, coming from a nest from the left-hand side, and Ashlyn Srepka just able to sneak in and get behind her defender. And
there's another one right as the replay goes. Paul again.
Alabama's timing with us is something else. But you know what, honestly, Gianna Paul has been looking for the back of the net. She was kept out of it Thursday night against the South Carolina Gamecocks, but she was not going to be denied tonight. Here we can see the ball coming through from no one else but Felicia Knox. Beautiful ball, just threading that needle. Couldn't have been timed better, and what a clinical finish with the outside of the foot, just pushing it past the goalkeeper for her first goal tonight.
Goal number 3 for Gianna Paul on the season. Freshman's been pretty incredible on the front line. And now a 2-0 lead for Alabama. Very similar to what they had last Sunday against North Alabama, and same score from Thursday night. As you can see, the faithful Roll Tide fan base is loving every second of the time they've spent here on this Sunday evening.
Absolutely. Alabama this year is definitely scoring a lot of goals, and if you're a fan, you love to see it.
And there are a few substitutions on both sides. After that goal scored, we'll see if the Mocs can respond. Have yet to take a shot on goal.
Broken up there by Björna Johansdottir. She's a transfer from Mississippi State. She's one of the central midfielders, playing beside number 17, Shelby Hash. A little bit more offensive-minded, just a workhorse in there. Mocs will want to get her involved in that play, get her up in front of the net so she can put some shots on frame.
Björna, the junior. Björna, the junior from Gardbar, Iceland. Part of the Icelandic Championships in her high school career. As the Mocs look to try and get some momentum going here in the first half.
Broken up there by number 3, Maggie Shaw, one of the captains.
Repka slow to get up on that last exchange as Paul will switch it over.
I'm sure Chattanooga has eyes for number 10, who's on the pitch now. Parker, the scoring menace for Alabama. She is in, and I'm sure she is hungry for another goal tonight.
Scored a goal essentially in every match that she's played in this season, including the header on the second goal against the Gamecocks on Thursday.
And here we can see Aislinn Stryzik, number 9, sophomore here, getting tied up with number 6, Grace Klippenstein. Good physical play, but
that chipped in inside of the box and then dealt back out. Alabama's keeping the pressure, trying to it looks like they're going for another goal already.
Yeah, that's something that Coach Hart wanted to emphasize with his team, is that they don't want to stop. They're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. They are just going to keep going and getting their players involved. And if they can, score 5 goals, great. But they're just not going to stop.
Mentioned Sarepka was slow to get up on the last exchange. Henderson is in for her. Kate Henderson, the junior from Anaheim Hills, California, as this dangerous play inside of the box woven through. Great defensive awareness to get it out. Looks like UTC has also brought in some other of their personnel. That's Macy Clem, who came in for Crimson Tide, the senior from Conifer, Colorado. Started all season long in the 2021 campaign with 90+ minutes in 7 games. Had the 3rd most minutes of anybody on the team. As this is dumped in to Riley Parker. Trying to get it over. There's a shot, and looks like it's deflected out by Eckern.
Yeah, you know, Alabama almost was able to thread that needle there, but guess who came in to clean up the mess? That was Felicia Knox, again, ripping a shot from outside the 18, and you know she can hit frame, and you know she can hit the back of the net, so I expect we'll see her taking more of those shots, those looks tonight.
Actually, a goal kick looks like it didn't hit off of anybody there. It's high and wide. Yeah, Felicia Knox is incredible on Thursday night. Set the tone in the second half with that goal at the 53-minute mark. See Parker pressuring Eckern there. You're right, she's hungry for a goal.
She is just, you know, playing on a different level. After missing the season last year and, you know, the season before that maybe not being as fruitful as she had hoped, she has come out with just a vengeance. I don't know how else to describe it. She just is so hungry and everything seems to be clicking. All those years of developing, and it's just, it's been really fun to watch her to grow and progress as a player.
And with all the evolution she's gone through and all the hardships, you know, tearing an ACL as Eckern swats it away. And another shot taken in, and it's a score! A header by Kate Henderson, who just came in for Srpska. The junior has her 3rd goal of the season.
That was a great finish by Henderson. Again, she seemed to be a little bit all alone. Much of the Mocs defense was moving towards Eckern. Eckern did great to get a hand on there, and then Aislinn Stryzik just redirecting, and that's a tough ball to send across. Her body was going one way, and she wanted that ball to go to the other, and it just went side to side from Paul to Stryzik, and finally in the goal for Henderson.
The switches are very skillful by this Alabama midline. Gianna Paul with the original send-in. The cross there. Henderson with her 3rd goal. 3-0.
Yeah, and last year I was going to say she had a very similar scoring record as Parker. She scored almost all of her goals with her head, and she's doing the same thing again this year. So Alabama really comfortable finishing those balls inside the 6-yard box with their head.
And for Henderson, make that her 5th goal that's been by a header out of 6. Only 1 goal has not resulted in that. As you saw, more substitutions coming in. Looks like the Mocs starting to get some reps on their substitutes. Same going for the Crimson Tide. And we talked to Coach Hart about that on Friday. He mentioned that with their starting lineups, they don't really have a standard starting 11. They like to rotate two to 3 different players within their starting lineups every game to keep people fresh. And that's probably a big reason why they're up in the top 25 rankings, because most of the other teams who are up there, they're not necessarily wearing out their players, but when you're starting the same 11 for 90+ minutes at a time, or the more mileage you have on a soccer player, the more difficult it gets. Yeah,
and you know, you can see it. Teams sometimes do it differently. You either see sort of this set lineup where they don't deviate a whole lot, but you know, if you're Coach Hart, it's great if you can go to the bench. You see Felicia Knox taking a hit there from number 17. Shelby Hash gonna get a little talking to there. But you know, yeah, you're right. Those knocks do add up over a season, and you know, it's a good problem to have when your bench is so deep.
Yeah, Shelby Hash getting talked to by the official there. It wasn't necessarily a dangerous play, but probably saying be careful before it does get dangerous. As whistle blown, they're going to send it the other way.
Yeah, so I think that was going to be a call against Macy Clem, number 2, up battling there near the goalkeeper.
And you can see there that it's just ended up being a bad challenge.
A bad challenge deep in the box. I think the referee wants to make sure that things don't get out of hand as the first half is winding down. People are tired. Great turn there by Felicia Knox.
Pressure staying on. And Skorka heads it off. Here's Burke.
And Bozak and Mize did well there to keep it. Shaw working it back to number 23. And this is what Coach McKinney wants to see, you know, keeping the ball, taking care of it.
UTC still has not had a shot on goal. They keep trying to get things set up. Farthest they've gotten is about halfway to the 18-yard mark.
Yeah, it's either been broken up by Alabama or it's been sort of an unforced error. We'll see if they can connect a couple more passes here, get closer.
Mize was originally one to take it up, a crossover. Looked like too short of a pass, but they'll dump it back in. Bama's defense takes over yet again. Mize again. Bozak fighting for it. And Bama will just send it back down again. Your coach saying to Avery, don't overshift. Crossed in. Parker tried to get the header there, too far up.
We definitely hear that from Chattanooga's coach. You know, Avery Catlett, number 23, she is that center back, and she's sort of the anchor, I would say, almost the compass for their back line. So
trying to get the opportunity at the top of the box, woven through, but not enough. You saw that shot ripped there by one of Alabama's frontline members. Eckern tries to go for it, saved it there. A dangerous play, but Eckern and company get it out.
yeah, I think that shot was earlier by Felicia Knox. Then we see her again crashing the net there. Eckern coming out and making that big, but a little bit of a scary play there.
Some pressure here as that is 20 for the Mocs going forward.
Janiah Stevens, I think, substitute into the game, trying to give some life to that front line. A little difficult, though, when you look around, you just see a bunch of white jerseys. The Mocs have to be a little bit faster in transition so that they can give better support around the ball. Again, they're doing a really good job of dropping back and defending. But they've got to be able to get out a little bit faster in transition and help out their front line.
Starting to see a lot of substitutions on both sides. It looked like Stevens was going to chase it down there, but opted not to. The forward now is the sophomore from Clarksville, Tennessee. Good challenge there. Shaw looking for help. Not a good pass there. Parker easy to take advantage of it. Passed over and taken up by Smith. Still in possession of Bama. Looking for the shot off of the defender. Looked like it hit one of the defender's faces. You can see Avery Catlett is shaken up there. Maybe got the wind knocked out of her.
Yeah, it's looking like she's holding sort of that middle of her stomach, sort of upper, maybe diaphragm area. And man, taking a ball right there, it really does take your breath away, and you need a moment. But she's been having a great game so far. Yeah, and that's going to be a strike from Aislinn Stryzik, and she has got a very hard driven shot, and that is not one you want to get behind.
Faced a few of those tennis shots in my my soccer days. They're not fun.
No, I can't imagine.
Sun going down here in Tuscaloosa. You can see a little bit in the backdrop some of the other buildings on the campus of the University of Alabama. See the sun going down there, almost completely past the trees. It's also a multi-use facility for recreational soccer teams. Might be able to see it when it goes back and forth. You can see the skyline of Bryant-Denny Stadium, where Alabama had their 63-7 victory over UL Monroe. Thank our production crew for that one. And one of the many great venues in collegiate soccer is here at the Alabama Soccer Stadium.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stadium.
There's Skorka dumping it up. Tried to cross it over. That's offside.
Yeah, so Burke just maybe a step or two too quick off the mark. Skorka's ball to her was not able to connect.
Allie Burke, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia. A little bit too forward on that attack. Here's possession. Chance for Hall. Henderson, Parker, and chipped up and high.
Yeah, so that was a great ball won by Macy Clem off the free kick there. And then Karis Hall did a nice job to work that ball outside, and eventually it made its way to Stryzik foot. And you can tell she is gunning for the back of the net tonight. She has had a couple of shots there. Haven't really been able to challenge the goalkeeper, Ekern, a whole lot.
As this is the chance here, Ekern shuts it down. Maybe a chance for UTC for the first time tonight as it's crossed over. Possessed, couldn't get the shot off. It's a great chance for Bozak. UTC still has it in as it's sent back out.
We're talking with Coach McKinney, that's exactly the transition that he wanted his team to focus on making.
Here's a transition for Bama as Henderson dumps it forward. A chance here for the shot, and Ekern right into the hands and swatted out of play. A great shot there by Karis Hall.
Yeah, great job by Karis Hall. Able to find that run and get that pass from Henderson. Just made her collegiate debut a couple games ago and already putting shots on the net.
And a sophomore from Fresno, California, getting a chance on net there. We are under 5 minutes, 4 minutes, I should say, left in the first half. It's been all Alabama thus far.
I will say UTC has been a little bit more, how do I say it? They've been playing with a little bit more urgency. They've been trying to get forward a little bit more quickly. You can see some words being had with the official there. That's Stryzik, number 9 for Alabama. But yeah, in these last couple of minutes, we've sort of seen UTC play with a little bit more urgency. Not necessarily direct, but going forward quickly. Trying to play their high players, generate some offense. They just have not been able to keep the ball. And then Alabama's just so good in transition.
Strycek's had a couple of times throughout that match she's been in where she's not necessarily agreed with the decisions the officials have made. Fortunately, it's all been cordial for them for the time being. But you see most of the time in the collegiate level anyways. UTC throws it in here. Has it crossed in, looking for the opportunity. A shot on net. Eckern with a good reaction. Looks like Henderson took the shot there.
Yeah, Henderson looking for a second one of the game. Alabama did a nice job of sort of working it around that 18-yard box, and ball had sort of spilled out in front. Henderson put some pace behind it, but have to do a lot better to beat Eckern with that one.
Dump this back to Crane. So far, a clean sheet for McKinley Crone, graduate from Maitland, Florida. Coming into today, 83% on her saves. And she was the lead goalie in the COVID-shortened season in minutes played. High up in the rankings there, and she is now 9th in career saves within Alabama's soccer program. At least coming from last year at 148. And even then, surprisingly, with Crone, she doesn't have the most minutes of anybody on the team. That honor goes to Sasha Pickard, the senior from Saratoga, California. Bama will get another throw in here, under 60 seconds left in the first half. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of frustration in the locker room for the Mocs going into halftime. They've had a decent amount of chances to play it forward and get an opportunity. A lot of it has just been they haven't been getting the passes off in the right ways.
Yeah, definitely some things to work on for the second half.
The Crimson Tide so far looking like the 11th best team, potentially higher in the nation against the unranked Mocs. 3-0 right now at the half. Alabama looking as skillful as they were on Thursday night and as they have through the majority of the season.
Yeah, I think Coach Hart will be pleased.
We'll ask him as we welcome in the head coach for the Crimson Tide of Alabama, Coach Wes Hart. 3-0 at the half, Coach. You know, you've seen a lot of great performance. Them lending their time to us is always appreciated. As we get back in action in the second half, as the Mocs look to have a way better performance than they did in the first 45.
At least on the offensive side. I mean, yes, they're down 3. But it's going to be hard to defend against a team like Alabama. I agree with Coach McKinney. I think that they have defended really well in spurts, but they haven't really made much of the opportunities when they've had the ball, and they haven't been able to go forward and really sort of get things going offensively. So that will definitely be something that hopefully the Mocs can improve upon for this second half.
Srepka took a little bit of a tumble there as the fight there goes advantage to Crimson Tide.
Yeah, Chattanooga certainly isn't shying away from the physical play.
Here's Reyes. Ball again. across it in and a good header. Parker looking for the option. There's Paul, another dangerous opportunity. Could have been a dangerous slide, but Eckern looks like she's okay from that, and a dangerous play there by Srepka.
Yeah, she came up with a smile on her face. That was a good job by goalkeeper Eckern. She watched that play. She read the play so well. It was a beautiful ball coming from the outside from Gianna Paul, the freshman, to Srepka. Almost a two-goal performance from Srepka, but again, was able to be intercepted by the freshman goalkeeper, Caroline Eckern.
For those of you stuck with us during the halftime report, you saw those predictions of having no clue where the rankings were going to be in the SEC. I know I can't speak for my broadcast partner here, but I'm not really sure how the rankings are going to go for the NCAA rankings. We know that as Parker, get to that thought in a second, as Bama is putting on the pressure as they clear it out, and Bama will set up another play. But for the NCAA rankings, the coaches are going to have their hands full on the poll for who's going to go where, because with all the upsets that have happened around the conference. Here's inside of the box as this will slide out, and it's ruled a goal kick. But but speaking of the SEC coming up, there's one matchup to really circle in, is that Auburn-Arkansas competition. Both of them lost over the weekend, especially as ranked teams. Those rankings are likely going to change with the way things have played out. You see those other ones. Bama will host unranked Tennessee, who was actually predicted to finish in the top 5 for the SEC in the offseason. So they've had their struggles this year, but NCAA rankings, who knows where it's going to go.
Absolutely.
Looks like a potential opportunity, and Crone gets the slide on there.
Yeah, that was Clarissa Salinas, the freshman from Chattanooga. She's a dangerous player. They keep her high. She can finish on the run. Big tackle there by Maggie Shaw, number 3, one of the captains for Chattanooga. Really important play because Gianna Paul was rounding that corner.
Maggie Shaw, the team leader in minutes, and plays like that are a reason why she's put in for so long for the Mocs. And there's a shot on goal, and still loose. One of the actually we just realized there was a goalkeeping change, so Crone has been given a rest here. It is Dylan Pixton, who is the only other goalkeeper to have any minutes on the season. She had 45 against North Alabama last Sunday, and we talked with Coach Hart about that on Friday. He mentioned that going into that North Alabama game, there was a plan to give Crone some rest. There was a plan to give Eva some reps, and looks like it's the same trend here.
Yeah, and as a goalkeeper, you don't often get time to experience real minutes in a game, and so being in practice is one thing, but being able to be in the game, having those situational experiences, working with your back line, always important if you can get your goalkeeper's reps.
As UTC might give a little bit more of reps to Pixton as she clears it out. There's Bama on another opportunity. 3 players in, tried to dump it in, and scooped up easily by Eckern.
Yeah, Eckern had a wall of blue jerseys in front of her, so that was not going to be a play that was going to be able to penetrate that back line. Again, Chattanooga playing in that 3-5-2, collapsing into a 5-back defensive shape. We've seen a little bit more offense being generated with Chattanooga in the last couple of minutes.
Here's Parker. As it's just booted up by Clem.
Yeah, another unforced error for Alabama. Again, we could see some more opportunities for Chattanooga if they can keep the ball and move forward, connect some of those passes, release some of those high players, take advantage of Alabama sort of switching up their lineup and maybe find an opening.
This is Anist crossing it over. Way too many blue jerseys within the box.
And that's the point I think Coach McKinney is making for the Mocs. They want to keep the ball there. You know, Clarissa Salinas came all the way back, number 7 for Chattanooga, won the ball, tried to combine with number 13, Mackenzie Smith, and then it was taken away by Alabama.
Here's Riley Tanner looking for the switch. Finds it there. Paul with the shot right on target to Eckern.
And I will say that was a fantastic save by Eckern. She, again, tracked that ball so well, was able to watch it coming from Riley Tanner's foot across the face of the net, and then eventually coming off the foot of Gianna Paul. But for Gianna Paul to hit that ball one time with as much pace coming from Riley Tanner, that takes a lot of skill. I think she made it look pretty easy, but you know, that's a difficult thing to do, to keep that ball low, keep it on frame.
Total of 6 saves on 9 shots for Eckern tonight. Freshman has been certainly put to work with his Alabama front line. As it's dumped off. And that'll be an advantage given.
Seeing the battle deep in the corner. You've got the freshman number 15, Rich Volsky, battling it out with Anist. A little too aggressive on that backside and gonna draw the foul.
Deep boot and a chance here. Crossed over last second. Parker looking for the opportunity, hesitated there, and that resulted in the defense just putting a stop there. Keck not allowing a shot by Riley Parker.
Yeah, and Keck has been, you know, we talked about her a lot in the first half. Really stingy defense. I think Parker tried to commit her, but you know, she would not go for it, and then Parker was not able to cut it back to that left foot. But it was a great ball forward to find Felicia Knox hanging up high and cut that ball nicely across the face of goal and found Parker.
As Alabama continues to look for a score here. Now's their advantage played. And there's another one. This one a free kick for Bama.
Yeah, played the advantage there with the tackle from number 17, Hash. But now we're not going to see an advantage play with 13. But so here's the first one, Hash coming in. Riley Tanner still had the ball, so they're going to play the advantage. No more advantage there when number 13, Mackenzie Smith, one of the captains, takes her down.
And we talked about it at halftime. It was a lead of 4-3 for fouls for the Mocs. Now here's a chance for Felicia Knox. She's done this before on free kicks. And she curled it in just outside.
Oof, that was close. Again, such a difficult thing to do. You know, that it looks like you're a far distance away from the net, but if you're staring at the goalkeeper and you're looking at that wall, you're trying to hit it low and driven and get it right around. And that was a good effort there by Felicia Knox.
Felicia Knox coming into today leads the team in total shots at 21. Make that at least at that one, 22. Looking for another chance here, and they will call a foul. And looks like a little bit more. It's a yellow card for the Mocs' own Julia Paraskia, the junior from Bartlett, Tennessee. Or I beg your pardon, actually. Looked like it was 16 on the jersey. It's 6, Grace Klippenstein, junior from Franklin, Tennessee, who got the yellow card.
Yeah, you know, Riley Tanner has been, you know, going down that flank all game long. First half, and now we see it in the second. And she is just so crafty and keeps that ball so close that she is able to draw foul after foul after foul, and gives Alabama some really great set-piece opportunities deep in that attacking third.
And that's Klippenstein's first yellow card of the season, as this is crossed in and tapped over by Eckern. It looked like it was almost tapped over, hit the crossbar before she got any contact on it.
Yeah, and Felicia Knox just a matter of inches, it seems like. But I think with that one, Eckern looked like she had been following it pretty well. Looks like she would have been able to deal with it had it not touched that crossbar.
Coaches poll for the NCAA women's soccer pool comes out every Tuesday. I mentioned that they'll have a lot of things to talk about. With Alabama and Ole Miss are the only ranked teams in the SEC to win over this weekend. I mean, Auburn took a loss, and Arkansas took their respective loss to unranked teams. So, not sure where that's going to go. And not sure where that is going to go in terms of Tuesday, but you know, the coaches poll for the top 10, of course, Alabama at 11. That's certainly going to change heading into next week. Which one of those interests you the most out of the current rankings?
You know, obviously, I want to see them leapfrog South Carolina, but Alabama will definitely be in the top 10. Now, how far up they jump, I don't know. It really depends on some of the other matchups around the league, but I will say that it's a testament to how strong the SEC has become. And
that's crossed over a chance there. I believe it looked like Felicia Knox was going in for the header.
Yeah, she was. She's looking for another goal tonight. But again, just a testament to how strong the SEC has gotten, and how consistently strong. And you know, just like we heard at the halftime segment, this is a year where I think it's anybody's game, and it's going to be a really exciting season of not just conference play, but also post-conference.
And we were even talking about it before we went on air. With the SEC, you know, there's so many senior transfers that came in, especially with the COVID eligibility year added. It's resulting in this year a more stacked playing pool, not just across the SEC, but around the rest of collegiate athletics, where you have a lot of these either technically fifth-year seniors in that regard, or extra-year graduate classification and what have you. So this year is going to be very interesting, not just in Pensacola for the SEC tournament, but for the NCAA. It's a lot of great collegiate sports to look forward to.
Absolutely, and Alabama is one of those teams that is definitely reaping the benefit of having those fifth-year seniors and those students that are graduate students coming back to finish off their eligibility. And we're seeing some tempers flare and frustrations there on that left side. Number 6, Grace Klippenstein, has been battling it out with Riley Tanner. She was already shown a yellow card earlier. Aggressive play between those two, getting tangled up, and I think you see Riley Tanner just giving her a little tap on the shoulder, and then Grace gives her another tap back. So, you know, just a lot of effort, a lot of grit, a lot of determination, exactly what you want to see.
As this is crossed in, not a chance for any of the forwards to go for it, but this might have been an opportunity had it been better possessed by Zoe Mise. As Alabama just boots it forward. Oh, you see Parker almost got to it there, as it was headed back over by Strepka.
Yeah, Akron was put under pressure there by Parker, and I think Parker was able to close down that space faster than Akron had anticipated. Didn't quite get the clearance that she wanted, and Sarepka was there to break that up. Fortunately for the Mocs, no danger, but there is danger now perhaps.
And you notice with Alabama, they're still aggressive even with being up 3-0. And it's not that they're, going on an all-out aggressive push, as you see Kobler and Streisig substituted in, but it's not a run up the score mentality or not a let's just completely overbear. They're still showing aggression and still trying to just play the game fairly here. And UTC is doing the same thing, even with them being down 3-0. It's not a matter of hopelessness. They're still going forward and still trying to get some good opportunities.
Yeah, I think if you were looking at the play, it wouldn't seem like Alabama was up 3-0 by the way that they are still playing with such urgency and wanting to get additional goals.
As this is crossed in, Parker tried to get forward to it. Had a defender in front of her. There's another chance, light touch. Parker can't get to it as they call a handball. Be a free kick for Bama, another opportune chance.
Yeah, and they're going to take the quick ball there, but again, that's another forced error coming from Macy Clem in the center of the pitch. I think Alabama has to be mindful about getting good reps, getting good touches, playing clean soccer. All of their play today is really to just continue to prepare them and get them ready for their next conference matchup, which is Tennessee on Thursday, which is not going to be an easy game either.
And they played Tennessee last year, which was one of the two ranked teams that they had some tough challenges against in the 21 campaign. Again, Tennessee was predicted to be, I believe it was the top finishing team in the SEC in the preseason. And they're still in the mix, but not on the rankings that they would have hoped for. As a slide attempt there, Riley Tanner was trying to get to it, and it's a corner kick for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and Sylvie Keck again, number 4, sliding across to make sure that Riley Tanner can't put any service into the box. They know how dangerous she can be there, either herself or, again, some of the balls that she's put across the face of goal.
Riley Parker takes the corner. Good for the chance, too many blue shirts around. Another setup by Rogers. Look to send it over, it's cleared back up.
Organize, hey, get closer now, get closer, zone, you are, get close, Bernie, get close, make it tough. Good, Berna.
As Bama tries to get another play set up here. We talked about it with the rankings and such. These are the current SEC teams of the top 25. This is certainly going to change going into Tuesday with the only teams winning or Alabama and Ole Miss. So you're going to see a little shakeups. Do you think Auburn goes out of the top 25 after their, I believe it was a 1-0 loss to Missouri?
That's certainly a possibility. They're sort of right on the cusp there, and I don't think that is a game that they expected to lose. And there's so many great teams that are playing all around the country, and so, yeah, I think that might really hurt them. There's just so many dynamics. I'm excited to see the next poll that comes out.
It'll release on Tuesday once the coaches have a chance to dissect all of the action over the weekend. As this will be up to Anist.
Oof.
Kept it in.
Yeah, and I think that was through the legs of defender number 4, Keck. Nice little job, but unable to keep it in, and it's going to be an Alabama corner kick.
as they'll trust Rogers, the graduate from Prosper, Texas. Cross it in here, looking for the chance. Header on the side, that's a goal!
Macy Klebb, number 2 for Alabama. She is one of the players that they typically look to target on their set pieces, and she does hang out on that back post. That was an excellent ball, no need to redirect. Right over the head of Eckern and hitting that side netting.
She had the 3rd most minutes in the 21 campaign, only 1 goal and 1 assist on the season. Goal number 2 comes with that ball going in the corner.
Yeah, and Kat Rogers, again, one of the players on Alabama that is known to have great service. She can play some great lofted balls into the box, and we saw there Macy Klebb was able to get on the end of it and finish and get a big goal.
Again, Alabama still keeping the pressure on, still playing with urgency. You see the pressure there from Henderson.
We mentioned it earlier, Alabama's sort of method of switching in 3 to 4 players at a time, almost like a shift change. Again, their bench is so deep they can do that. And so whenever they get one of those line shifts in, those players want to play with the same urgency. They want to get the reps. They're playing at a higher level, and so it just works out that line after line, shift after shift, you are seeing that same urgency, that high level of pressure.
So that's going to be 6. Good work, Kennedy. No, that's you, Janai. That's you, the 6. That's
As Bama gets a throw in here just outside the 18. Here's Reyes. Stolen there by Steer. Brooke Steer looking for the chance to chip up inside the box. Eckern will scoop it up. Brooke Steer, we haven't called that much this evening. The sophomore from Dexter, Michigan. She didn't play at all in the spring of 2021. And she started 4 out of 8 matches this year, 90 minutes within 3 games, and normally she hasn't played as much beyond the first half in those games she's played in. Now getting some action here in the second half.
Yeah, and Brooke Steer is one of those players too. She was out with injury last year. She's traditionally a forward, but had to be moved to the back line because of an injury with Bella Scaturo, one of their center backs. And Coach Hart can't say enough about how well she's done to transition there. So yeah, you probably saw her wanting to get forward. Reminds her of her older days when she was up at the front line. She's got a very different role, but nonetheless very important at the back line.
He's looking to go for a shot there, kind of like a cross sport where you saw PK Subban essentially do that on the defensive side for ice hockey, where he just takes shots from center ice. I'm sure my hockey friends watching will enjoy that one. And Alabama leading 4-0 here with under 22 minutes left in regulation, and had a upset victory over the number 5 South Carolina Gamecocks on Thursday evening. As this historic season continues for the Crimson Tide. This is dumped in the box, almost dangerous if it had been in possession, as they'll dump it back out with a switch.
Here's Shelby Hash, the senior, one of the captains. Just couldn't connect there with number 20, Janiah Stevens. The Mocs are doing well to break up some of Alabama, to force some of their passes. And we've seen some unforced error from Alabama there. But unfortunately, Chattanooga is just not doing a good job of keeping the ball. They're really spread out. Their passes just seem to be a step or two away from the intended target, and they've got to be tired. They've been chasing for a while now.
Trying to get it before it gets out there. Managed to cross it in. Though to no hope as Catlett's there to send it away. Good interception there by Rogers. Down to possession here. Chance and a shot, and it's in! A great goal from
Emily Kobler.
Yep.
Emily Kobler, you know, when she comes in, she's been described as being a really clinical finisher. And, you know, she battled some injuries last year. It's her sophomore year. And so you can see all smiles for her there. Great individual work there and just an absolutely perfect finish. I don't know if you could place a ball better than that.
She had the extra foot forward, took the shot when she needed to, and the sophomore from Jugendorf Salzburg, Austria, has got a goal. And that's, again, first goal she's had on the year at 65 minutes in. See the joy that the rest of her teammates have in that. You see the Gatorade spill there.
She's definitely been dangerous, and she's definitely had some of her opportunities. It just hasn't fallen her way, so she is so ecstatic, and you can see her teammates are just so happy for her. It feels good to be rewarded for your hard work.
And you even see Parker there on the bench as well, so unless she gets some action back in, this will be an anomaly with one of the few games that she has not scored a goal in, but she had plenty of opportunities to do so throughout the evening. As the Crimson Tide remain in the lead here at home. Of course, a look ahead to Crimson Tide. Of course, they had their first matchup in the SEC on Thursday. The rest of their season, all Southeastern Conference play. Of course, on Thursday, they collide with Tennessee, they'll host Texas A&M next Sunday, then at Georgia, hosting Ole Miss, at LSU, and a slew of other SEC matches. Home Arkansas, at Mississippi State, home Florida. They finish out the season with the women's soccer edition of the Iron Bowl at Auburn. Tough schedule coming up for the Crimson Tide, but with the way things have been going on the season, doesn't look like much can stop them.
They're definitely looking as good as I've ever seen them look heading into conference play, or, you know, one game into conference play. And they're going to need every single person on that bench to play a role because the league is tight this year, really tight.
Tried to get the header in, couldn't do it, as Paul is looking for the chance, and it's deflected away.
And Chattanooga did a really nice job defensively to follow that ball and not get pulled and to really stay focused, because Gianna Paul is just wreaking havoc in that 6-yard box.
Woven through, good footwork. Here's Paul taking the shot, couldn't get enough height on it, and it's cleared out by the Mocs defense. And here's a shot from wide, just over the crossbar. Great shot there from Macy Clem. You can see she wants that one back.
She does. It was dipping, you know, maybe if she had been a yard or two back, it would have dipped right at the right time, but that's not a bad look from distance. Why not test the keeper?
And a look ahead for the schedule for the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Rest of their season is all Southern Conference play. They host Mercer on Friday, Sunday, the Citadel at VMI, at UNC Greensboro. Then they host Samford, West Carolina, East Tennessee. Then they finish out the season on the road at Wofford and at Furman. So all conference play for both of these teams, and it's in that season where the final stretch of your games that you play are all conference games. Here's a pressure chance by Sydney Vincennes. Tried to get the cross in before it went out of play. The line judge says goal kick. There's Eckern, just gets the ball again. Get into the final, close to the final 15. Only one yellow card given out so far in this matchup. Officials on site, referee Rhiannon Daugs, Jared Moser, assistant referee Miriama Kosisova, and their alternate official Christopher Hensman. All of them mostly keeping the match clean. You've seen a lot of conversations they've had with players on some challenges, and started to get a little bit chippy earlier on, but been a clean match so far. Paul once again crossed over, tried to get the header in, couldn't do it. Henderson looking for yet another goal.
Yeah, and it started with that big switch from Jessica Skorka, putting that ball lofted over, completely switching the point of attack over to Reina Reyes. Reyes played that ball down the right flank from that outside channel and then just let Gianna Paul put that low-driven ball across the face of goal. Those ones are fun to head.
Advantage given. That'll be I believe a Bama free kick.
Yeah, Stryzik again getting tangled up with Chattanooga defenders. Saw a lot of battles with her in the first half. You can see number 17, Shelby Hash, grinding away there. More of a defensive center mid. Coach McKinney called her the workhorse of the team, and you can see why.
See if Kat Rogers can curl it around or if she'll just opt to pass it over. There's Rogers with the shot up, looking for the header in, another goal! A score!
Cindy Vincennes, that's gonna be a fun goal for her. She is probably the tallest person on Alabama's offensive line. You know, grinds in, comes in, does her job, gives good minutes, and has not scored a goal yet. And I can't say enough about that ball from Kat Rogers. Hit with perfect pace, beautiful curl, hung in the air just long enough to allow Vincennes to get from her starting position, just get a body on it.
The senior from Mandeville, Louisiana, in perfect position on the free kick. Make that now 6-0 for the Tide.
Again, to the Mocs' credit, they are certainly not playing like a team that are down by this much of a goal differential. Part of it, you know, they know that playing SEC teams is going to be difficult. They're not going to see another Alabama in the SoCon, and you know, anything that they do tonight is really about making them better for their opponents that they're going to see in conference play. You know, take Mercer on Thursday.
And at least for Alabama, they've had several players who've gotten their first goals on the season as well. And another opportunity as and look like a good collision there between the three. Looks like everyone's okay though, as an advantage given to Alabama.
Yeah, Vincennes got tangled up there. Eckern coming off her line, strong. Chattanooga defender, nice and tight there. Good strong play on the ball by all three.
Skorka with it forward, name we've called all night long with how great she's been from the backside. Here's dumped into the box and whistle blown, advantage to the Mocs.
Yeah, I think they're calling maybe an offside there.
Yeah, flag was up there on the side judge there.
Yeah, I think it was Vincennes trying to sneak in and get behind that back line again, maybe play off of the header that was potentially coming from Henderson.
Dumped forward, dangerous opportunity, and a great sliding save by Eckern.
Yeah, well read by Eckern, because that was just a beautiful ball threaded through that back line by Gianna Paul, looking for the foot of Aislinn Stryzik.
If Stryzik had one more step on there, it could have just been a chip over in.
Yes, I agree.
Good challenge. Bama keeps finding it there. Dumped forward. Stryzik looking. It's the cross in, too far and over. And you've got more players coming in for the Tide. Srepka coming back in. Henderson will get a little bit of a rest. And it looks like they got knocks in for Clem. And Clem's had a fantastic contest today. The fight for the ball right now as Karis Hall tried to get it there. Here's Paul again. And what she does best with the cross-ins, Eckern saves it from any type of shot attempt from Srepka.
Yeah, and Eckern's been, you know, despite, again, the score of the game, she's been, you know, pretty consistent coming off that line. She's really interrupted more than several, you know, many of Alabama's potential goal-scoring opportunities. If she had not anticipated many of those balls, it could be a really different score.
That's a good footwork from Bozak. Here's over to Opie. And in the box, stopped there by Pixton. And you've got 5 goalkeepers on the roster for the Crimson Tide, and so far Pixton is the only one who has gotten any action other than Crone. And that's of course a big testament to, you know, Eva Hoyseth is sophomore, Hannah Alexander a sophomore, and other goaltender in Ellie Laney is a freshman. So mostly, of course, giving Crone and Pixton those minutes, with this being their last season for the Alabama soccer program. On the other side with Chattanooga, they've got 4 goalkeepers, and their starter is freshman. And we talked with Coach McKinney about it, and they, you know, last year they gave Sydney Weinstein the nod and had her first career collegiate start against Texas Tech, and then the first 40 minutes of play she had a season-ending injury, which is one of the tough things you have to go through. And the rest of the goalkeeping staff, Abby Sadler is the other one of the 4 who has gotten action on the season. 2 games for 114 minutes. And still Caroline Eckern is still the starting keeper. They haven't pulled her yet at this point. this is dumped into the box and over. Looks like they got Riley Parker back in, except she's on the left wing. Maybe, yeah, maybe just over there to try and get the ball. Still trying to get that 1 goal average. Keep that up.
Yeah, you can see that grin on her face. That ball played into her, didn't work. But that does not mean she's going to stop looking.
Here's Paul again. Foot race with Paul, you're not going to win 99% of the time. He dumps it forward. About 5.5 minutes left in regulation. As the Crimson Tide look ahead to their stretch of games in the Southeastern Conference, Chattanooga looking ahead to their games within Southern Conference. Ball again. Possession. Looking for a chance here, but surrounded by a sea of purple jerseys. Felicia Knox was weaving it through there, just couldn't get a shot off. Here's Parker. Reyes tried to take it up there, and a clean challenge. Beg your pardon, Karis Hall took it up there, and a clean challenge that ruled a goal kick.
Yeah, number 5, Opie for Chattanooga, has been defending hard on that outside flank. And again, good clean tackle there. Hard tackle nonetheless against Karis Hall for Alabama. But she has had her hands full with Gianna Paul also on that flank side. And you know, she's done well just to try to contain her as best as possible.
And Opie, the freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, put into the back line in this second half as that ball is intercepted by Serepka. Kept from going out there. She'll try to cross it over. Here's Parker again looking for the chance. Hops to go back. There's a shot and hit off of the post. What a shot from outside of the box.
And that was Gianna Paul, the freshman.
There was another one that almost went on net. The defense rerouted it.
That's Stryzik again just knocking at the door, unable to get it on frame.
No advantage given, play on.
There's Stryzik doing some dancing there.
And then finally a call given there and a yellow card issued to Kaylee Bozak. Only the second yellow card of the match.
Yeah, so Serepka just dancing with Bozak. Bozak didn't want to dance anymore. And so, yeah, taking the foul there. And so far, I would say the official has called a great game. She's allowed the women to play, and it's been a hard game, a hard physical game, but you know, good to see that she's going to pull out the card and put an end to any of those unnecessary challenges.
Maybe one of the last chances here for the Mocs to prevent a shutout. taken away from him by midline of Bama. This is played up to Parker. You notice that Parker's playing more in that support role for the most part. She's been passing it back to her teammates, and she's taken a few attempted shots and headers here and there, but for the most part playing back to those other teammates who don't get as many minutes as she does. As this is switched over, Paul tried to keep it in play, throw in. Paul crossing it over, back up to the top of the box, looking for the chance, and the shot is wide.
That's Stryzik again. She has definitely been busy putting up shots, trying to get some on goal, really challenged the freshman goalkeeper Eckern. It's great to see her up and involved with the play and being so active in creating those chances. She just really hasn't been able to put a lot of good quality shots on frame, but it's not for lack of trying.
Final 60 seconds in what's very much been a one-sided competition for Alabama. Mocs will have the long bus ride home to Chattanooga. And Alabama will be celebrating tonight. Maybe as much as they did on Thursday night with that 2-0 victory. As the Crimson Tide will wrap things up here in Tuscaloosa. Maybe one more chance. They're getting an aggressive chance here. They give it over to Parker. They might actually be going aggressive to potentially give Parker that last crack at it. But they'll throw it in. Parker tries to take it over, and one last shot from Paul. And the Crimson Tide very much are in position to rise up into the top 10. Arguably the top 5 for the NCAA women's soccer rankings. A 6-0 victory against the Mocs.